guys, welcome back. Let's get right into it. So we have a new season of Basketball Wives. You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I honestly thought that this was going to be like a different kind of season. From what we saw in the trailer, it seemed like it was going to be like a healing season. And, you know, I just thought we were going to get a totally different season. And this first episode let me know that we're just getting an extension of the last season. And I am not really pleased about it. I'm so disappointed that these ladies didn't learn anything. They're still just as ignorant as they were at the reunion. How unfortunate. One thing that I have noticed about all of the Black reality TV shows, or the reality TV shows with the mainly Black cast, they're the only shows that really ever talk about Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, like those kind of cultural and political things that have happened during the filming of the season. The other shows that I review with a mainly white or non-Black person of color cast, people of color cast, the only thing they talk about is COVID. Things that make you go, Disappointed, but not surprised. Speaking of disappointment, let's talk about Evelyn. We open up with Evelyn at her home cooking. I guess she's going to be making something for Phoebe, who's coming over. I will say this, Evelyn is gorgeous. She is a gorgeous human being. I feel like she would have had a much better life, a much more successful career, and probably would be in a healthy relationship if she did not make her business out of being a villain. With some of us, we know that this is TV. We know that this is entertainment, right? She plays this character and then walks away. She collects her check and she lives her best life. However, the majority of people who watch this show do not know that she's playing a character. So a lot of people think that this is how she is. The people who know, who make the decisions in TV, knows that she's probably not like that, but that she can tap into that. So they'll consistently hire her as this villain person because she has branded herself as that. Unfortunately, when you put yourself, when you cast yourself as such a dark character on reality TV, not in like, you know, the acting field, right? But it's only for reality TV because you are playing a character of yourself, but you're still playing yourself in a sense, right? Because of that, that image has followed her. And I feel like if she were not on this show, or if she played a different character, I don't think her life would be where it's at right now. I don't think she would have experienced so much hardship if she played a different role. Sis, she shouldn't have leaned into being a villain. But you are, especially this season, because mama, are you blackfishing? Listen, when I saw her in that kitchen, I was like, Evelyn, you ain't never been this dark. Let me tell you something. Evelyn will put on the tanner, right? She has never been this dark. Her arms were chocolate. Like chocolate. I'm like, Evelyn, what? Listen, we called her out so much last season that she was just like, you know what? I'm going to come back as one of them. So maybe they'll go a little bit easier on me because, baby, she is the Afro-Latina of Afro-Latinas, okay? I will never forget that Twitter joke that somebody wrote. If I can find it, I'll put it in this video. But the person said, do your parents know that you're Afro-Latino? Everybody want to be black till it's time to be black. So while blackfishing, Evelyn is also not backing away from the colorism of last season. Like, no sympathy. No sympathy. Not only does she think that she was in the right with the colorist bullying that she was doing of OG last season, she also thinks that OG was in the wrong and is still playing the victim by suing her for defamation of character because she destroyed her life and she's trying to come after your money. OG didn't make you say those things. OG didn't make you do those things. OG didn't make you chase CC down a hill to assault her. That was you. OJ didn't make you sit on camera and call her ugly. OG didn't make you use that monkey gif and then try to get on camera and act like you don't know what that means. If you lie down with all of these black men, hang out with all of these black women, and now all of a sudden your daughter is a black woman, if that is your community, how do you not know about the racist monkey and gorilla caricatures that were put out in the early 1800s and the early 1900s to describe black people, to make us feel and make others believe that we are inferior and less human? How do you not know about that? And your whole community is black. You knew exactly what you were doing. You just did not expect for the fan base to react the way they did. Because you've done it to other women, right? No other woman has ever called you out. So this is the first time you were called out and you were challenged by somebody who called it for what it was, and you did not win. So now you're a victim. Now the fans are coming up to your house trying to murder you. I don't believe that for 1 second. Oh, you know I gotta move, right? Because they're trying to kill me. Absolutely not. You want sympathy. This whole rebranding, now all of a sudden we open up, you're going to church, you're getting baptized, you're paying for people's clothing to get washed. I don't buy any of it. You're trying to rebrand yourself, but you're not smart about it, right? Because if you were rebranding yourself, you would be remorseful this season. Shawnee is trying to help you rebrand yourself, but because you're so stubborn, you're ruining all of the work. You're ruining it. What was that? You're ruining it, bro. You're ruining it. I'm sorry. If you're watching this outside of America, please forgive me. But you are ruining all of Shawnee's hard work because you keep on messing up with the colorism. You have no sympathy. No sympathy from last season. Then why did you apologize? Why did you put up that apology crying and saying you're going to change? And then you come on the show and you talk about that you didn't know that using that monkey gift was, going to make OG feel offended and, make black people think that you were talking about, dark-skinned black people. We know exactly what you were doing. We've been going through this since we came to this nation or were brought to this nation unlawfully, right? And unwillingly. We know exactly what it is. We have dealt with it too many times, survived it too many times to not see it from afar. We can see it from afar. We can smell it from afar. We can sense it. We know exactly what this is. That's a part of our identity. So we have to be able to sense that. We have to be able to see that. We have to be able to feel that. So when you did that and all the black people responded, you hopped up and played victim. Because you didn't think that you would get that response because we knew exactly what you were doing. And instead of apologizing, like this could have been so easy. This could have been so easy. You could have said, oh my goodness, I was just trying to offend her. I know I was offending the black community. What I did was ignorant and stupid. You didn't do any of that. You said, oh no, that's not what it meant. You defended the monkey gift. You guys have learned nothing. I really thought this was going to be a different season. So anyway, Febreze shows up. Why? No shade, sis. You bring nothing to this show. And I'm not being mean. I'm not being nasty. I'm not like one of those reviewers that try to say, spiteful things to hurt people, to get, negative people like in my video. I'm just being very honest with you. When your scenes are on, it is a snooze. The storyline isn't interesting. I think we tolerate the other ladies more because we've been on a journey with them. You came in to the season and you were already a snooze. So we just weren't excited seeing more from you. And that's not a bad thing, right? Your life is just in a good place where there's no drama. You know what I mean? And I think you try to be funny, but the comedy isn't really there. Maybe get a Snapchat show or start a YouTube. You'll find your audience there. I don't think it's here on VH1 with this show. So while Evelyn is doubling down on her behavior from last season and colorism, she continues to call OG aggressive. I'm like, you can't get it through your thick skull. You cannot get it through that thick skull that you are wrong in this situation. And you are going to make it even harder on yourself because we all home now and we all got time to watch this show and get in your behind. You are going to make this so much harder for yourself, and it doesn't even have to be, because we've seen in the trailer that you are still crying and doubling down on the colorism. You're not even recognizing that this is a battle you will not win. All them light-skinned girls and that self-hating Kristen, they all going to agree with you. But the millions, let me stop, the thousands, the hundreds of us who watch do not. This is going to follow you. I really thought they all were going to use this season to rebrand themselves. When I saw the trailer, I rolled my eyes. I was like, here they go. They're going to cry and say that's not what they meant. Well, I was shocked, girl. I watched this episode and I'm like, oh, ain't nobody taking responsibility. OG is still aggressive and mean? Okay. Accountability is not on this season. I cannot wait for that judge to throw this case out if he hasn't already, because there's no way that she should be suing OG for defamation of character. If anything, OG should be suing you. Anyway, speaking of my girl OG, she meets with Jackie. And Jackie, I was just very disappointed in you this season. From the opening scene with Evelyn and then this sit down with Jackie, I realized that once again, yet again, this show is going to give me nobody to root for but OG. Because Jackie tells OG, like, can everything be fixed or whatever? OG, Miss Positive was just like, sure, like, I don't want to have any issues with anybody. Like, I would love to fix everything. And then Jackie inserts her opinion, and she's just like, well, I have to be honest with you. I didn't see racism. You don't even see colorism. So how the hell you going to tell her that you didn't see racism? If you can't see colorism, which is a child of racism, how are you going to be able to see racism? And for somebody who has a colorism issue going on in her own family, I would shut up. Your daughter wrote a whole autobiography about how you tormented her because she's dark and how you upheld your youngest child because she's light. If I was you, I would have stayed out of that situation. Not even been in the conversation. I would have minded my business because all you did was add fuel to the fire. Malaysia looks a little different. Okay. Your money, your body, your business. So Shawnee is moving to Houston. Basically, her whole family is down there. Shaq is down there. Like, he has like an empire down there. The kids are going to school down and around in that area. She's going to move down there. I think she's going to move down there to start a Basketball Wives franchise down there. I think she's also getting out of Dodge because I feel like the colorism issue last season really put her job in jeopardy. And I just think she just no longer wants to be on a show that is so tainted now by what has happened last season. So instead of being accountable and instead of fixing the situation, she's just going to flee. Flee with the money and her intellectual property. Listen, do what you gotta do. But just like the demonic seed that she raised, Evelyn, she's also not backing down on the colorism because she talks to Jackie after informing her that she's moving to Houston. Jackie is just like, well, do you want to like fix it with OG before you leave? And Shawnee's just like, oh, sure, of course. I would never want her to feel that way. If she wants to sit down and talk, I'll meet with her, but it can't get confrontational. What about OG is confrontational? What has she done to you specifically to make you fear her? You're calling her aggressive again. You've all learned nothing. Thank God Kristen wasn't on this episode because I feel like with all of these delusional broads not taking accountability for anything that happened last season, Kristen would have been the icing on the cake and I probably would have broke my television. Like, for you to call this woman confrontational, basically calling her aggressive, when you almost lost your show over the colorist bullying that you all were doing to her, for you to come back on camera and reiterate that ignorance, baby, it gotta be crack. It gotta be crack you're smoking, or are you inhaling bleach? What is it? What is it? So we have a new cast member this season, Liza, who is the ex-wife of Lamar Odom. We found out about her after Lamar Odom stepped out on her when he was still with her, with Khloe Kardashian. He also like gag ordered her and blocked her from being on a lot of other reality TV shows. Because there was like 3 reality TV shows that I know of that she was supposed to be a part of, but Lamar Odom would not sign on her children and he put a gag order on her. So obviously, I guess because he's no longer with Khloe, he has, released the gag order or something, or, stop paying the retainer for the lawyer. Whatever it is, she can now be on reality TV. And listen, Liza has a really interesting story. I hope she can bring it because what we have seen from her so far, it wasn't a lot, but so far it was dry boots. Baby Phoebe was giving more than you. So I'm a little concerned, Liza, because you're here to replace Shawnee. You have really big shoes to fill because she is like the glue of this group. So if she's bringing in you to step in that position, you got to have a much bigger personality and give us something. Shawnee doesn't have a really big personality, but she has Shaq. You see what I mean? So that's no shade, but Lamar is not a Shaq, right? So that's what made her really interesting. You have Lamar, who's interesting, but again, it's not the same as Shawnee and Shaq, right? So you just got to give a little more. Maybe you're just a bit nervous. That could be it. But right now, first episode, you got to nail it. You didn't nail it yet, but I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. Oh, Lord, I forgot that this show was filmed like right before Corona hit. So we're basically going to get triggered the entire season. That's the only thing. Like, I don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. All the TV shows, all the reality TV shows, all of the movies, all of the streaming service films and shows are all going to be about COVID. We are just going to get triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered and triggered about the coronavirus for at least a good decade. The networks and studios are going to milk our trauma for years. And we just got to get used to it. So anyway, the ladies are now finding out that, Corona is hitting and, things are being canceled. Meetings are not happening. Now, all of a sudden, they're getting a different perspective because the world is changing and there's this virus that people are really afraid of. And now they're getting some sense of a soul and wanting to mend and fix and heal things because people are dying. I'm not impressed and I'm not convinced. Evelyn, the colorist, is trying to mend issues with Malaysia and Jackie. And Malaysia, is doing her normal ageism jokes about Jackie. Can I just say, we're not even halfway through the episode at this point in the review. And we already have 2 main cast members denying the colorism and bullying that they did to OG. Then we have Jackie, who, main cast member, minor in storyline, saying to OG's face that what happened to her didn't happen to her, so gaslighting her. And then we have Malaysia with the ageism jokes. These ladies have learned nothing. I'm so shocked, guys. I really thought, why did I expect anything more? Silly of me to think that you would have some sense. I swear, if the coronavirus, reliving the coronavirus this season won't trigger you, the colorism from last season will, because we are literally living in the same season. The only thing is that it's, sprinkled with some coronavirus in it. Because this is the thing. Sometimes it seems like the coronavirus is just starting, and then it seems like they're in it, and then it seems like we're getting scenes before it even happened. Like one scene where Malaysia and Evelyn are at the laundromat. They walk in and they're not shaking hands, they're doing this, but there's no mask. And I felt like the mask came before shaking hands, or was the mask after? I don't know, because these shows edit things all over the place, so nothing is in chronological order. So I'm confused about when certain things are happening, because some scenes have COVID restrictions, and then others I'm just like, where are we at? Like, what season is this? So I don't know. I'm confused about the order. They're confused about their actions. We're all confused. This is the season of no growth. OG, I like you. We all like you, right? All I'm going to say is I hope this works out for you. I hope this works out for you. As for me and my house, I'm not building a dream home with a man whose last name I don't have. If I'm not on an insurance policy, I'm not building a dream home with you. But she, believes that her and Kwame are going to get married, so they're building a dream home together, and she thinks she's going to get a ring any day now. Real talk, I hope it happens for you, because this would be really sad to see this fall apart on TV. But girl, you took us on the journey. You know what I mean? If you're going to take us on the highs, take us on the lows. This episode ends with Jackie ambushing Malaysia at an event that Evelyn set up for them to meet and squash it. I will say, Evelyn, if you set this up for them to meet and squash it, why didn't you become like a mediator and try to fix the situation? Because Malaysia is there hanging out with her, and then Jackie walks in and Jackie sits down, and Evelyn is just like, oh my God, look at y'all sitting here together. Oh my God, oh my God. What are you doing? Like, let's, say something. Like, I invited you both here because I want y'all to squash it. All she said was, oh my God, y'all here. Talk it out. She didn't even say that. You just was pointing out the fact that they were there. Why did you bring them together? Because Malaysia runs. Malaysia runs. If you watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you know that Meredith Brooks is the white Malaysia. I'm not engaging. She just gets up and walks out just like Malaysia, right? So you know that if you're going to do an ambush or, want to fix this situation right quick, you got to do it right quick, because Malaysia walks out of scenes. That's what she's known for. And that's exactly what she did. She made up some lying and excuse about Jackie, where she's just like, Jackie came in with an attitude. And I was just like, I don't want to be here for that. I didn't need to see that or be around that. Girl, bye. Jackie came in happy, wanting to fix the situation, because Jackie don't like being at odds with anybody. She was ready to fix the situation. You were not. You were still mad about that rumor that she brought to the show about your kids being dirty. Girl, are they? Why are you so angry? If there's no proof, let it go. It's just giving me storyline. I feel like you're holding on to this for story. Guys, this is just an extension of last season. The ladies have not grown. The ladies have learned nothing. We're getting the same old mess. I honestly don't think this season is going to pick up until they get to the house and all of the ladies get comfortable and then real conversations start to happen. Either way, I'll be there on the journey with you guys because I was there with y'all last year, so I might as well commit to it. And I'm also going to stick with the show because I will always be there supporting our girl, OG. That's it for me. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next episode. See you there, or be square. Oh, you know what? I also have like other videos, so check them out, check my page, for channel or whatever. See what you like. There might be another show that you like. Who knows? Thanks for stopping by. Love ya. Bye.